And the award for the best teaser trailer to the most generic movie out there goes to... Hello everyone, my name is Jake from Talk Too Much, and today I am here to talk about Passenger. Now, if you've been paying attention, especially if you're a horror fan, the big news has been that May has a little bit of a resurgence for horror. With that being said, we've gotten movies like Hokum one weekend, we got Obsession, and everybody was waiting for Passenger because that was next up on deck, and then next week we got Backrooms. So we were pretty stacked this month. We're on the third installment of this month, and we have Passengers. And real quick, I go ahead and want to come forward and say, out of all the movies this year that I expected the most from, Passengers did disappoint me on that list. Let's go ahead and start out. So this is a movie that they've been putting the teaser trailer out since I want to say January or February. It's a nice little teaser trailer of the intro of the movie, and instead of it being like 2 minutes, when you see the actual film, it's of course a lot longer. It's about 6 to 8 minutes of the movie, but it's a very effective teaser trailer. After multiple watches and going to the theaters every single week to see the new release, it was always being shown every single time. And it kept getting to a point with me whenever I was watching this teaser trailer, and I only got like one feeling out of it. And that feeling being, my God, I am so bored of this teaser trailer. Can you please stop showing it every single one? Because by the time I got to my fourth or fifth time watching this teaser trailer, it just didn't do anything for me. But let's go into more further details. So the plot of this movie is about this couple who decides to go road tripping together. They pack everything, they throw it all into a van, and they're like, we're just going to road trip the whole country. We're going to start in New York, make our way around, and just go explore it and go travel. That's what we're going to do for the rest of our lives, and we're just going to work from a van. And while that's a great concept because it kind of eliminates a lot of the factors that you see in certain movies, they don't have a home to go to. They don't have anywhere to run to. They're on the road the whole entire time. And so what ends up happening is just one night, this is about 6 weeks out on their road trip, the people from the teaser trailer are zooming on by, and after the accident has happened to them, and of course they crash. After they crash, the people pull over to the side and they're like, whoa, what's going on here? And thus start the game of cat and mouse. Starting off with the positives, I do think this was an interesting concept to go on, especially since everything was out flat out on the road. You have nothing tying you back to a home, which means that you are just constantly going. And this entity that is following these people, it doesn't have anywhere to stop at. It's going to keep following you until it eventually gets you. It's predator versus prey. That's what the setup of this movie is making you to believe. And the other positive I do have to give is that the teaser trailer was in fact the most enjoyable part of this movie, to where we were set up pretty well, and I was like, I'm going to give this a fair chance here. It may be good, may be bad, maybe my expectations will actually be passed and I'll be surprised. Oh boy, was I wrong by that. And yes, unfortunately, after the teaser trailer, it all falls apart before it can even stand on its legs. Going into the mixed portion of this movie, everything I have is just a big mixed. And outside of those positives I gave earlier, I feel like the acting is fine. It's okay. They didn't fully stick with too many generic tropes for a horror movie, but they did stick to a lot of them. It drove me absolutely nuts. Now, I was bored during this movie. I was about to fall asleep. They would always crank up the music at some point, and then they would throw jump scares at you to the point where you're expecting them left and right. You're like, oh, as soon as that movie comes on, I know a jump scare's coming. And that's really that loud, shocking music that they hit you with those jump scares. That was the only thing that kept me going from this movie. The only other mixed element I would say is just the acting. I mean, some of the acting and some of the script, the way the whole plot and everything intertwines, it's just very weird. It's very weird and very sudden to the point where it started to feel generic. You started to be able to tell what each character's purpose is, how this whole story is going to go by the very end. And let's just say that leads into my negatives, and my biggest negative is that this is generic. We've seen this done a million times. Have you ever seen the movie Wrong Turn? Don't even bother, because Passenger is just wrong turn with wheels. That's the best way I could describe it. Demon that is possessing everything, it just doesn't look that cool. He looks pretty generic. Um, Another negative thing that didn't make any sense to me, at least, was that this whole demon that's being followed, at least it's marking using the hobo code. That's what we've gathered from all these 3 strikes on the cars and things like that, is that it means it's a hobo code for danger. And I don't really get how a demon that is designed as a preacher is supposed to be, you know, following the hobo code and leaving that mark on these vehicles. I struggle to kind of understand that quite a bit. Another big negative that I was just let down with is the violence in this. It gets practical in the beginning, which I was happy with. When you get that teaser trailer scene, and then you get to the aftermath of the teaser trailer scene, it uses quite a bit of practical, and it looks pretty good. That's it. Rest of it's all going to be CGI. There's one kill that happens with the person's neck. You can blatantly see it's CGI, which was very disappointing. It's either that, or if it was practical effects, it looked awful. Flat out. And this is the same director who made A Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And he also made, I believe, The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Hearing he made those movies and going into this, I had a little bit more hope, and that was unfortunately falling flat. But yeah, overall, I'll just go ahead and end it with you. I don't like to do negative reviews. I don't, but this movie was so boring. It was so bland. It was so disappointing. I was just like, wow, other than Psycho Killer, going into this, I was like, man, this is my second disappointment of the year. I expected so much more out of this, just off of that teaser trailer, and it just had nothing delivered, nothing that you haven't seen already before. If you've seen a movie where people get stranded in the woods on the road, you've seen this movie already. Here's going to be my rating for it. Let me know what you guys think down below, and hope you guys have a great rest of your Memorial Day weekend.